We're Kevin and Tiffany Collins. We live in Fullerton, California. Had Richard do our house about 2005, into six.
End of six, and it was a great experience for both of us as we were going through this. We ended up having our entire house knocked down. If you can imagine going from a very small home that had 3 bedrooms and one and a very small bath to how many now?
4 bedrooms, office, 3.5 bath, formal living room, dining room, what we call the loft area. It's our upstairs, kind of a private living room area with a wet bar and coffee maker and refrigerator.
And my favorite room, the kitchen.
And a huge expansion on the kitchen. Kitchen tripled in size, all new appliances, all new cabinetry, custom cabinetry in granite. Now, I mean, we weren't in the house for 2 weeks before we had our first party here with over 30 people. The house easily accommodates it the way it's all laid out.
It was just such a great experience for us because when we started thinking about remodeling our house, I was terrified. I was really worried about how long this would take. Would we be going way over budget? We had heard so many nightmare stories. And when we started thinking about it, we really decided that the most important decision for us was a good contractor. And I think it took us 2 years of...
Certainly over a year of talking to different contractors. We spoke to 10 different contractors in the very early stages. And sometimes we talked to 1 or 2 and then put the plans on hold for 3 months.
And then we met Richard. And it was really funny because both Kevin and I said, no, we really like this guy. I thought I could work with him, and that was something that was really important to me, that I would have someone that would respect me, give me timelines, give me the chance that I needed to make decisions, and would listen to what our needs were. And we were really fortunate in finding someone that I think was a perfect fit for our family.
But that was sort of the big thing, is that Richard, when we spoke to him and would say, we want this or don't want that, we would get this, but not that. In the very early planning stages, I think we spent more than a year planning the construction and only 7 or 8 months doing the entire job. In that year, Richard brought in an architect who took our very crude drawings and put them to work and put them on blueprints where things that we had talked about that we sure didn't want to have weren't there. We don't like Jack and Jill bathrooms. There were no Jack and Jill bathrooms. We don't like right angles in our kitchen. We didn't want wasted space in the corners. We have no wasted space in our corners. We got rid of the corners in the kitchen. Really clicked with us and understood what we were trying to do and made the process very simple.
And I will tell you, people used to ask me, so what is it like going through this experience? And for me, building a house from the ground up is stressful, but nothing like what we heard from horror stories from other people. And so they would ask me, would you recommend him? And I would say, absolutely. I used to give his number out on such a regular basis, and to the fact that, or to the point where my parents even used him to build a house, do a big remodel in the house that they had, and I would have never given them his name if I hadn't been 100% satisfied with the results.
Yeah, as we were going through, we had a very strong idea of what it was going to cost. Richard kept everything within budget. In fact, the only things that went over budget were items where Richard said, you know, I planned this amount for an air conditioner, but we can get you one twice as powerful for an extra $200 because he found a deal. And the same for the tankless water heater that, you know, we budgeted this one, but they got a sale on this one, and for an extra $100, $200, we can really, you know, make sure you have enough power, and we've always had plenty of hot water. Those tankless water heaters, they're fantastic. We've got, in our bathroom, in the master bath, is a 3-headed shower. All 3 can be on at the same time as the kids' showers are on, and we still don't run out of hot water. That's a big deal when you have a big family or lots of people over. We've sort of become the Hotel Southern California for our family. Lots of Northern Cal relatives come and stay several days. We're only 15 minutes from Disneyland, so they stay with us, go to Disneyland during the day, make their way back. We maintained a downstairs bedroom so that there'd be ease of having guests, and then the upstairs is just a very private area for us, so it worked out really well. We also designed the downstairs bedroom and office so that my dad, who's now 84, if he ever chose to live with us, could come down, have his own bed, his own bathroom, his own living room, what I'm using as an office now. But he'd have his own space, so he wouldn't feel like he's intruding on us every day, every minute. And that's a big thing as he's getting up there.
I would say the last thing that we always talk about is if we did it again, if we were ever to move and want to do this process again, we would use Richard over. No question
In a
about it.
heartbeat. It's funny, we take trips and we go places and think, we could build a house here, but I don't know if Richard can come to Hawaii and build a house. Yeah, I don't know if he can spare the rest of his jobs for 8 months. Yeah, we did, when I think about all the changes that were made in the house, that we went from a 1,600 square foot house to a 3,700 square foot house, added the entire second floor. But also, one of the things we told Richard earlier is we don't want the house to look like it doesn't belong in the neighborhood. We've got a neighborhood that was built in the 60s and 70s. There are a lot of ranch-style homes, few second stories, but not too many. He made sure that when it was designed, it had a lower slope on the roof, so it wouldn't be as tall. That there were no 20-foot beams in front of the house. In fact, there's no 20-foot lines on the front of the house, so that the house looks like it blends better into the neighborhood than, single story mansion, single story. And that's no easy task.